Women's lacrosse continues to control the rankings. Baseball takes on an in-state rival, and athletics and academics intersect in the history department. Live from Curtis Media Center.
From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
The madness is officially over and spring sports are in full swing.
That's right, Lee. I certainly wasn't at the top of the Sports Extra Bracket Challenge, but I know who is #1. Do you?
Bethany, I know exactly who is #1, and that's because the women's lacrosse team is absolutely dominating.
I am so excited for the Tar Heels. Their nail-biting win on Saturday against Boston College was definitely one for the books, but it was a different situation on Wednesday. The Lady Tar Heels continue to dominate the lacrosse field after smoking the ECU Pirates. Carolina took the first quarter to make out East Carolina's defensive system, but the team pulled through strong offensively, like this athletic move from Kaylee Harden to clinch a goal. The Heels were outstanding on the draw circle, winning the stat 19-7. Ashley Humphrey had herself a game, like this play being her 20th goal of the season. Carolina took down ECU 20-4, allowing only one goal after the first quarter. Now #1 in the nation, our Tar Heels are looking to stay on top as they take on the Golden Bears from out west on Sunday at 11 a.m. Cal is currently 0-7 in the ACC, with opponents scoring 168 goals against them this season, which is way higher than the Tar Heels' 79 goals. Lockdown defense from the Tar Heels is required for success in this game. If the Heels keep their defensive strength up like they did against ECU, with 24 ground balls, the Heels will be able to send the Golden Bears back to California.
The men's lacrosse team is heading down the road to Durham to take on the Blue Devils tomorrow. Duke's defense will keep the Heels on their toes. For the third time this season, Duke Jr. Aiden McGuire is ACC Defensive Player of the Week. After starting ACC play with a win against UVA, the Heels are riding high, while Duke, on the other hand, is down after a 0-1 start in conference matchups. UNC's offense is on fire with dynamic players like Dominic Petramala and Owen Duffy scoring major goals like this one against UVA. Both teams are hungry for a victory. Game time is for tomorrow. Let's take it to Stick Checks with Stalter to break down tomorrow's Tobacco Road matchup.
Thanks, Lee. Baseball took care of business last week, so now it's time for the Lax team to prove who's the better Blue. Last year, the Heels earned their only ACC win in an upset win over the Blue Devils. But this year, it's a different story. The Heels are already in the win column and are looking to wreak havoc in Durham this weekend. Last year, it was the 1-4-1 offense that was giving the Hoos problems. We'll see here the Heels are floating two guys at the crease, so when Duffy attacks the left side, they're going to slide over and double the ball carrier on the strong side with the weak side defender coming in to cover the slot, leaving the far side wing wide open. When Duffy looks up, gets his eyes upfield, he's able to find Petramala cutting to the net, and that's a guy you do not want to leave wide open. You may as well just put that one on the scoreboard already. They also wanted to take advantage of their matchups at the X. After the game, Ryan Levy said they knew Virginia wasn't going to be sliding behind the net, leaving them prone to one-on-one matchups. And that's exactly what he had here in the second quarter, with Duffy out wide and his defender shading him inside. He's able to split dodge to his strong hand, gets to the island, and cashes in. One of the 2 goals he scored from behind the cage. The Heels proved all year they could score. With the ACC looking like a bloodbath this season, they certainly won't be out of any game if the offense can continue to be this efficient.
Dylan, what's the key for the Heels to take down Duke tomorrow?
Well, Lee, they had to keep doing the little things well. Last game, the Heels were successful on all 17 of their clears. They've also been dominant in the faceoff circle, and every extra possession is going to be critical, especially when the teams hate each other this much.
Should be a good one. Thanks, Dylan.
The Diamond Heels will host the Demon Deacons for a series this weekend at the Bosch. With conference standings tightening, this weekend's series is pivotal for both teams. Carolina is ranked 16th in the nation and is coming off a fiery series win against Duke, one that showed their offensive power with Jackson Vanderbreek's career-high performance. And looking to move up in the ACC rankings, the Heels will need to focus on defense against the Deacons, controlling the strike zone and limiting runs. First pitch is tonight at 6 p.m.
Bethany, obviously baseball was canceled last night due to the weather. I'm hoping the skies cleared up so they can play this weekend.
I'm really hoping too, Lee. I know this is going to be a really great game for them. It's really important that they get playing so that they can rise up in the ACC rankings. But we know that softball did get a chance to play this weekend, so I'm really excited to see what they have done so far. The Tar Heels softball team took on ECU this week on Wednesday under the lights of Anderson Stadium. Britton Rogers kicked off the action by securing 4 scoreless innings from the mound. But ECU came to play in the 5th, notching 4 runs off an RBI double and a Carolina error. This was a wake-up call for the Heels as they put up 2 runs of their own thanks to Raina Blackwell's RBI double. Their backs against the wall, Carolina called in star pitcher Kenneray Dark to hold off the Pirates for the rest of the game. With the game tied at 6-6 in extra innings, Kat Rodriguez stroked this clutch single, bringing Grace Jackson home for the nail-biting 7-6 victory. Our softball analyst Alden Archdeacon joins us now to tell us more about the exciting matchup against ECU. Alden.
Thanks, Bethany. I mean, it was a roller coaster of a game, but the Tar Heels bounced back. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect, but they got the job done. And then in the win-loss column, all it shows is a W. Let's hop right into it. We have Alex Coleman, our leadoff hitter. We're starting kind of late, bottom of the 6th. We're down 4-1, so Coleman knows that she's got to start chipping away at this lead, especially with runners in scoring position. Here she is. She's so good at the small ball type game. She just gets a little slap it. She's so fast. She's got the Lightning McQueen speed. The shortstop doesn't even throw the ball because they know Coleman already would have beat out the throw. I mean, Coleman's an absolute stud and is able to drive in a run for the Heels. And then we're going to move a little later on to the game. We're in the bottom of the 9th now, so this isn't baseball. We're talking softball. Normally there are 7 innings, but at this point we're in extras. This is our 2nd extra inning. It's been a marathon of a game. It's past my bedtime, but Kat Rodriguez gets up there and says, you know what, I'm putting this game to end. Our absolute stud. She gets up there, hits a single hit right up the gut, and drives in a run, and the Heels win 7-6. I mean, it was a walk-off win. But what it showed me was that our experience matters. Rodriguez and Coleman both are very experienced. They've had many reps. They've been in the league for a long time. And they know how to clutch up. But here's the deal. The Heels are redirecting the ship here. They're getting back on course, and hey, I think they might have even listened to last Monday's show about being a goldfish mid-in-game because they went down twice and came back both times. Bethany?
Alden, even after a win, there's always room for more improvement. Where do you think that lies for this team?
You're 100% right, Bethany. And it's here, the team needs to focus on their errors. They had 2 against ECU, and they've had 9 in the past 7 games. So if I'm Coach Lyon, they're going to have to clean this up down the stretch in order to compete with the better teams.
Let's hope they can make those changes. Thanks, Alden.
Following their win, the Heels are back at Anderson Stadium this weekend, gearing up for a weekend ACC series against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech outfielder Alina Gottlieb is coming off a huge game, blasting a 3-run home run and racking up 4 RBIs in a win against Jacksonville State. The Yellow Jackets stayed hot at the plate, collecting 15 hits, highlighted by Addison Leshber, who went a perfect 5 for 5. UNC will look to counter with Kenneray Dark leading the pitching staff, hoping to keep Georgia Tech's offense in check. At the plate, the Heels aim to bring the same energy, with Kat Rodriguez continuing to pace the offense, leading into the weekend showdown. At the University of North Carolina, sports and history come together in the classroom. Reporter Sophia Gray gives us a closer look.
Professor Matt Andrews' classes, students don't just learn about the games. They explore how sports challenge norms, from the modern Olympic Games to the evolution of race and gender in baseball and basketball.
I was just really struck by how interested students were in talking about sports and talking about these important issues through sports. So when I interviewed here, they were looking for someone who could, kind of pack people into the seats. They said, do you have any courses you think would be popular? And I said, yeah.
These courses have been part of the UNC curriculum since Andrews joined Carolina from Guilford College.
I think sports is such a great way to talk about important themes. Students are primed to be interested in sports. Recently, and we're just about to get to it in our race and basketball class, social movements have been intricately tied up with sports.
Through his teachings, Professor Andrews is shaping the way students understand the role of sports in shaping history.
I want students to leave my classes a little more critical about sports culture than they probably are. But I also just want people to realize much more generally that sports are serious business.
Professor Andrews is helping students see sports as more than just a game. I'm Sophia Gray, reporting.
Matt Andrews may be teaching students within the classroom, but we know some history here at Sports Extra too.
That's right, Lee. It's time to see if our viewers know Carolina athletics history like Matt Andrews. Now, our trivia question today is, in which year did UNC win its first national championship? We're going to give you guys some time to think about that question, but when we come back, we'll hear from our tennis analyst, Marilee too. Tennis has some big matchups this weekend with rival Duke coming to the Tuning Tennis Center. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Lee, as we mentioned earlier, women's lacrosse is the best team in the nation, but I heard Carolina claimed another spot at the top of the rankings.
That's right, Bethany. We held the title in the fall, and now Carolina is leading the Learfield Directors' Cup standings once again after their incredible performance in winter sports. Carolina leads the nation with 843.25 points thanks to top 25 finishes in 16 sports so far. That includes a national championship in women's soccer, a third-place finish in field hockey, and Sweet 16 runs by both women's basketball and men's indoor track and field. Carolina has now posted 25 top 10 finishes in the Cup's 30-year history, continuing its tradition of all-around excellence.
That's right. The women's tennis team, who won a national championship in 2023, is hosting two teams from Florida this weekend at the Tuning Tennis Center. First up, Miami on Saturday. Miami is coming off a loss against not our rival NC State, though still managed to take down one of NC State's doubles pair. UNC will need to continue to be strong on doubles with Reese Brantmeyer, who is ranked number 8 in doubles with partner Alanis Hamilton. Brantmeyer is ACC Player of the Week and is now ranked number 4 in singles. Brantmeyer and the team will then take on Florida State on Sunday. UNC is favored to win, being ranked number 6 overall.
Tennis analyst Marilee too is live at the Tuning Tennis Center. It's a rainy day, but Marilee, what's going on over there?
Lee, the rain has stopped, the sun is shining, which means it's going to be a great weekend for some tennis. And the Tar Heel tennis team has been busy. They traveled to California last week, but each team faced a different outcome. The women swept their matches. And you know what? I say let's bring this good energy and momentum into this weekend's matches as we host UMiami and FSU. They're sitting at the bottom of the ACC, and they don't have comparable matchups to Thea Radman and Carson Tangulik. But on the other hand, for the men, they lost their matches. But you know what? I say it's a new week. Let's take a deep breath, reset, and lock in, because Duke is coming to town and they are ranked 15th in the nation. They also have a deadly doubles duo coming in, Cooper Williams and Theo Winigar. But Carolina has something that Duke doesn't: grit. And I'm not talking about the grain your grandma feeds you. I'm talking fire, because the Tar Heels are hungry, not for grits, but for redemption. And one thing about our men is they are fighters. Chris Shue, Vladislav Melnick, and Anthony Wright do not back down to a challenge. And with focus, strategic balls, and fewer hits in the net, this could be a rival matchup to remember. Lee.
With the grit that our team has, they have a great shot at taking down the Devils. Thanks, Marilee.
Carolina volleyball will host longtime rival NC State tomorrow. This spring matchup marks the two rivals' first meeting since October, when the Tar Heels clinched the first set 25-23, but ultimately fell to the Pack. Despite the loss, the Tar Heels finished their season on top of the Wolfpack in ACC wins and rankings. Key players Jackie Taylor and Sophie Hampton look to continue to put up points and secure sets for the Heels in their spring season, starting with State. Now, Lee, it's time to reveal the answer for Tar Heel trivia. Now, I'm in one of Matt Andrews' classes, and he did teach me that UNC's first national championship was in 1924. Our men's basketball team took the title then. I think that really is a testament to Carolina's athletics.
Bethany, that doesn't surprise me at all, and that is over a century's worth of excellence. But do you know who our most recent national champions are?
Lee, I do. Back in December, women's soccer brought home the national championship for the 23rd time. That's absolutely insane.
That is exactly right, Bethany. And again, our national champions are returning back to Chapel Hill to take on the James Madison Dukes at Finley Southfield tomorrow at 2 p.m. The Tar Heels and Dukes haven't seen each other since 2010, but the Heels lead the series 3-1. In the 2024 season, both teams were competitive on offense, with JMU having 43 goals, but that's nothing compared to our Tar Heels' 64 goals. The Sun Belt champions are looking to take down our national champions, so expect a competitive and exciting game.
You guys voted. The results are in for this week's Play of the Week winner. Now, Alex Madera with the double play, stepping up on second and launching the ball to the first for the 27th out of the game and the win against Duke. That's your Play of the Week winner. Make sure to tune in on Monday to vote for your favorite play from this weekend.
Kate McCullough tells us how Dakota Baggeson is taking on ACE, a group fitness instructor course.
Dakota has participated in a 10-week intensive meant to train instructors and prepare them for an exam that will certify them. From online self-study modules to in-person training, Dakota has elevated her passion for fitness. As part of ACE, the student team teaches with mentors right here on campus. For 1 month, Alexa Simmons reviewed Dakota.
And you squat with your weight 4 on 1.
Dakota's a pleasure. She puts a lot of effort into all of her classes. She really wants to improve, and it's so easy to work with somebody who applies the corrections I give her every single week.
Through the team teaching process, Dakota has been able to teach classes, get feedback, and build her skills as a group fitness instructor.
Be a group fitness instructor specifically it is very special to have all these people trusting you. And I feel like even as part of the mentoring program, this class has just accepted me wholeheartedly.
Dakota has followed in her older sister's footsteps to become a fitness instructor. Fitness is a super important part of her life, and it shows through her teaching.
Here is where all the background work Dakota has done comes into play. If you have a passion for fitness and teaching, ACE is the place to be.
I feel like everyone in the program has done a really good job of taking us through it slowly and really inching us into it, because it can be really intimidating to get up in front of a class.
She doesn't seem intimidated now. I'm Kate McCullough reporting.
Lee, I know you're graduating, but maybe we can make it to one of Dakota's classes before you leave us.
I would absolutely love that, Bethany. I'm thinking next week.
Yeah, perfect. I'm there. I know Dakota really well. We play volleyball together. She's super entertaining, so I would love to go to one of her classes. And that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Monday with highlights from another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.